$2,000 for a flight to Japan? That is impossible. I guess I am staying home this summer because everything is just too expensive.
Don't give up yet, Mike. In today's podcast, we are going to show you exactly how to travel on a budget. You don't need to be a millionaire to see the world.
I hope so, because right now it feels like my bank account is saying no to everything.
You just need the right phrases and a better plan. We're going to help you see amazing places without spending a fortune. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Context English podcast. I'm Anna.
And I'm Mike, currently dreaming of a holiday I can actually afford.
We are so happy you are here. Today, we are focusing on how to travel on a budget. It's a topic everyone loves because we all want to travel more for less.
That sounds like music to my ears. By the end of this episode, you will know how to ask for the best deals, find budget options, and use English to save money on your next adventure. It's easier than you think.
So, Mike, let me tell you about my weekend. I didn't go to Japan, but I did go to a beautiful little town in the mountains.
The mountains? That sounds expensive. The hotels there are usually 5 stars.
That is what I thought too, but I did something different. I didn't book a big hotel. I found a tiny guest house owned by a local family. It was only $30 a night.
$30 in the mountains? That is incredible. How was the room?
It was small, but it was so cozy. I had a view of the forest right from my window. And the best part? The grandmother made the best breakfast I have ever tasted. Fresh bread, homemade jam, and it was all included in the price.
Whistling included? Now that is a real deal.
Exactly. And instead of taking a private taxi from the station, I took the local bus. It was a bit slow, but I met so many interesting people. One lady even told me about a hidden waterfall that wasn't in my guidebook. It was free to visit, and it was the most beautiful thing I saw all weekend.
Wow, so you had a 5-star experience on a 1-star budget.
Exactly. I spent less than $100 for the whole weekend, including the bus and the food. I came home feeling so happy and relaxed. It made me realize that travel isn't about how much you spend, it's about the stories you find and the people you meet.
That makes me feel much better. I think I have been looking at travel the wrong way. I was looking for luxury, but maybe I should be looking for local.
That is the secret, Mike. When you travel like a local, you save a lot of money and you have a much more interesting time.
I am ready to learn. But how do we actually find these places? What do we say at the bus station or the guest house to make sure we get the best price?
That is a great question. To find the hidden gems, you need the right words. Let's look at some essential phrases for budget travelers. But first, Mike, I want to hear about that time you went to Italy with only a backpack. I heard that was a very cheap trip.
Oh, that was a real adventure. I learned a lot about saving money that week. Let me tell you how I did it. Well, I was 22 years old. I had a very old backpack, a pair of comfortable shoes, and exactly $300 for a 10-day trip to Italy. I remember standing in the middle of Rome, looking at the Colosseum, and feeling, well, honestly, I felt terrified.
$300 for 10 days? In Italy? Mike, that is almost impossible. Rome is one of the most expensive cities in the world. Did you just eat bread and water the whole time?
Almost. On the first day, I made a huge mistake. I was so hungry and tired, I sat down at a beautiful cafe right next to the Trevi Fountain. I ordered a simple pasta and a coffee. When the bill came, my heart stopped. It was $45. $45 for one lunch.
Oh no, that is nearly 20% of your whole budget. What did you do? Did you cry? Because I would cry.
I wanted to. I realized that if I kept eating in places like that, my trip would end in 2 days. I walked away from the fountain feeling very stupid. I started walking away from the big monuments into the small, quiet streets where there were no tourists. And that is when I saw him.
Who? A secret travel agent?
No, just an old man sitting on a wooden bench, eating a piece of pizza from a paper bag. He looked so happy. I used my very basic Italian and asked them, "Where is the good food?" He laughed, pointed to a tiny door with no sign, and said, "There, best pizza in room, €2."
2 euros? Now that is more like it.
It was life-changing, Anna. It was a pizza al taglio shop, where they sell pizza by the slice. I walked in and the smell was incredible. Fresh basil, hot tomatoes. I bought 2 big slices for €4. I sat on the street corner with the old man and ate the best meal of my life.
That sounds so much better than the expensive cafe. So that was your first secret. Eat where the locals eat, away from the fountains.
Exactly. But I still had a problem. Water. It was a very hot summer, and the bottle of water in the shops was $3. I was drinking 4 bottles a day. That's $12.
Water is a hidden cost. It adds up so fast when it's hot. How did you solve that?
Well, I watched the local people again. I saw them going to these small, old stone fountains on the street. They're called nasoni. I saw a young girl fill up her bottle there. I asked her, "Is it safe?" And she said, "It is the best water in Italy, and it is free."
So you didn't have to buy water ever again?
Never. I saved over $100 just by using the free fountains. And instead of paying $40 for a big bus tour, I just walked. I walked 15 kilometers a day. My feet were sore, yes, but I saw everything. I found secret gardens, beautiful churches with free music, and tiny markets that most tourists never see.
It sounds like you were living like a king on a student budget. What was the biggest lesson from that trip?
I realize that expensive usually means for tourists. If you want to see the real heart of a city, you have to look for the things that are free or cheap. The street food, the public parks, the local buses. By the end of the 10 days, I still had $20 left in my pocket. I used it to buy a giant gelato at the airport.
That is such an inspiring story, Mike. It makes me want to pack my bags right now. It shows that you don't need a lot of money, you just need to be curious and watch what the locals do.
Exactly. And you need to know how to ask the right questions.
That is true. If you can't ask for the cheapest way or the local spot, you will always pay the tourist price. So let's look at the phrases that saved Mike's trip to Italy.
Thanks, Anna. I really love talking about that trip. Now, let's give our listeners the tools to find their own adventures. Here are 5 essential phrases for budget travel.
Phrase number 1 is a great way to save money at museums or on trains. It is there a student or senior discount?
Is there a student or senior discount? Let's hear that again.
Is there a student or senior discount? Even if you are not a student, it is always good to ask if they have any special prices. For example, I want to visit the museum. Is there a student or senior discount?
Phrase number 2 is for when you are planning your day. It is, what is the cheapest way to get to whatever place you want to go?
What is the cheapest way to get to? One more time?
What is the cheapest way to get to? This helps you find buses or trains instead of expensive taxis. For example, what is the cheapest way to get to the airport?
Phrase number 3 is for checking your accommodation. It is breakfast included in the price?
Is breakfast included in the price? Again?
Is breakfast included in the price? This is a great way to save $10 or $15 every morning. For example, I like this hotel. Is breakfast included in the price?
Phrase number 4 is my secret for finding the best pizza. It is, where do the locals usually eat?
Where do the locals usually eat? Let's hear it one more time.
Where do the locals usually eat? This phrase helps you find the cheap, delicious spots far away from the tourists. For example, I'm hungry. Where do the locals usually eat around here?
And finally, phrase number 5. This helps you define what you want. It is, I am looking for a budget-friendly hotel.
I am looking for a budget-friendly hotel. Once more?
I am looking for a budget-friendly hotel. Budget-friendly is a polite and professional way to say cheap. For example, I don't want a 5-star resort. I am looking for a budget-friendly hotel.
5 perfect phrases for your backpack. Is there a discount? What is the cheapest way? Is breakfast included? Where do the locals eat? And I am looking for something budget-friendly.
Now, let's hear these phrases in action. Imagine Mike is at a tourist information center in a new city. He is talking to an assistant, Anna. Listen for the phrases.
Hello, good morning. I just arrived in the city and I'm a bit overwhelmed. It's so beautiful here, but everything looks quite expensive.
Hello, welcome. Yes, the city center can be pricey, but don't worry. There are many ways to save money. How can I help you today?
Well, first, I need a place to stay. I don't need anything fancy. I'm looking for a budget-friendly hotel or maybe a nice hostel. Do you have any suggestions?
Of course. There is a wonderful hostel called the Green Garden just 10 minutes from here. It's very clean and popular with travelers.
That sounds perfect. Is breakfast included in the price?
Yes, it is. They have a big buffet every morning, and it is very close to the main museum.
Oh, I really want to see the museum, but the ticket is $20. Is there a student or senior discount? I have my university ID with me.
Yes, with a student ID, the ticket is only $8.
$8? Wow, that is much better. Thank you. And one more thing. I'm getting very hungry. I see a lot of restaurants outside, but they look like tourist traps. Where do the locals usually eat?
If you walk 2 blocks behind the museum, you will find a small street called Blue Alley. There's a family restaurant there called Mama's. The food is incredible and very cheap.
That sounds exactly like what I need. What is the cheapest way to get to Blue Alley? Should I take a taxi?
Oh no, don't take a taxi. The bus number 10 stops right in front of it. It only costs $2.
You are a lifesaver. A budget hotel, a cheap museum ticket, and the local lunch. My bank account is very happy now. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Enjoy our city.
Now, let's listen to the key parts again. I'm looking for a budget-friendly hotel. Is breakfast included in the price? Is there a student or senior discount? Where do the locals usually eat? What is the cheapest way to get to Blue Alley?
You know, Mike, after hearing those phrases and your Italy story, I feel like I can fly to Japan right now. Maybe not today, but definitely much sooner than I thought.
That is the best part, Anna. When you know the right words and you have a good plan, the whole world opens up to you. You don't need a golden credit card or a huge bank account. You just need curiosity and these 5 simple phrases.
Exactly. We covered a lot today. We learned how to find budget-friendly places, how to ask for student or senior discounts, and why it is so important to eat where the locals eat. It's all about being a smart traveler, not a rich traveler.
And here is my actionable tip for all of you this week. Before you go on your next trip, even if it is just to a city near you, go to a search engine, type the words free things to do in, and then the name of the city. You will be surprised. There are so many free concerts, beautiful parks, and local markets that don't cost a cent.
That is a great idea, Mike. And don't forget to practice asking for the cheapest way to get around. It actually becomes a fun game after a while. You feel like a detective looking for a secret.
It really does. And remember, every time you ask a question in English in a new city, you are becoming more confident. You are doing an amazing job.
We are so proud of you. Travel is one of the best teachers in life, and English is your ticket to the world. Keep exploring. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Context English podcast. It was such a pleasure sharing our travel stories with you today.
But now we really want to hear from you. We want to know your secrets. What is your best tip for saving money when you travel? Do you stay in hostels? Do you cook your own food? Or maybe you found the hidden gem in your own country? Tell us in the comments below.
We love reading your comments. They're the best part of our day, and they help us feel like we are all traveling together.
If you enjoyed this lesson and you want to see more, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us grow and create more content for you.
Take care of yourselves, keep your eyes open for those budget deals, and keep practicing your English.
See you in the next video.
Bye for now.
Bye.